What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since we've posted, so I'm trying to bring some gameplay video to get us back. So in this match we have Beelzemon versus DarkKnightmon. I'm playing Beelzemon on the left, so I hatch a Pagu and go straight into Impmon. Decided to play the newest Impmon, search for Beelzemon and Iron Mako. Seems to completely whiff. Opponent hatches his own Pagu, goes into Chicory, and then decides to play the Izzy to search. Now at this point I see the Baihu and I think, oh, is this Baihu Turbo? But no, actually he ends up revealing that he's playing DarkKnightmon when he evolves here and raising into the Deadly Axemon to pass turn over, put me at 2. Now I am at 2 and Impmon or Beelzemon really needs to stack the trash, so I try to go in and swing. Had that Impmon died, that would have been 5 discards. But I end up hitting the Congo, and I just kind of have to evolve into my Doberman and then play the Iron Mako Tamer to pass turn over, give my opponent 4. He's reading over the effects because he's a little unfamiliar with Impmon. If he swings over him, that's 5 discards for me. So he plays the Monitamon, gets himself a Skull Knightmon, which is good. That'll set him up, and decides to swing over that Impmon anyway. Now this hurts. I trigger the Pagumon effect first, and so there's no Impmon in the trash except the one that's about to discard. So I have to make the decision whether to get the Mills off the Impmon or play it off Beelzemon's effect, and I decide to get the Mills because I'm hoping to hit something else with it, and it doesn't go in my favor. Had I decided to trigger the Impmon effect first, I would have been able to play that Impmon right back out, but it's fine. Now we start the turn at 3 since we have the Memory Tamer. We go Pagumon to Psychmon. Now before my opponent passed turn by playing one of the Gatsumon for 4 costs, so getting the value there since I had a Memory Tamer anyway, I'll still go to 3 since he was at 1 memory. Gatsumon doesn't see a lot of play, but he's a really strong rookie. 6k rookie is pretty crazy. So we swing in with Doberman so we can trigger his effect. And we see the Promo Wizardmon, which will gain me a memory because of that mill, and then Doberman will let me grab back that Promo Wizardmon from the trash, which is what I choose, and then we'll just go into him on the Psychmon and raising. And I think at this point I'm missing the level 5, so I'm kind of stuck on whether to go up or not. So I play the Alice. Alice comes in handy, and then since I'm at 0, I'm trying to make heads or tails of what to do here. I think we decide just to hard play another Impmon to increase our board presence here. Yep, and that's what we do. And we don't use the effect. We don't have anything that we want to discard. So they hatch their own Pagumon. It's really a Pagumon match here. Toyagumon, one of the best black rookies in the game. And then there we go. He goes into the Skull Knightmon. Decides to swing the Gatsumon first, dies to a Black War Growlmon. He goes ahead and swings with the Deadly Axe. Deadly Axe dies as well. Pagumon's effect gets another Chicory. And he's trying to decide whether or not to swing. Decides to go ahead and swing. It dies to a Blast Mode. And then just creates another Skull Knight in the back. Now I am at 3 and I'm trying to decide whether it's worth promoting or not, or if I want to just stay in raising and build. So I decide to stay. I use Impmon's effect so I can mill one with swing with Impmon and then use Iron Mako's effect to mill the top of the deck. I'm trying to build up that trash so that if I want to go into the blast mode play, I can get all the extra security. I'm checking what I have. Again, I'm in a weird spot. I think I'm still missing my level 5 at this point. So I go ahead and play another EX2 Impmon. It whiffs again, which hurts. I think I bottom decked 2 Calling of Darkness. And we just have to pass turn. We don't have much to do here. We're really hurting without that level 5. So he goes into the Cavalier mode, which is a really good play in this point. because now he has blocker, jamming, and security attack +1 and then reboot in the stack. So he can swing for 2 and then reboot to be on the board as a blocker. So he pops the mem boost, the pride member boost, so he can play another Beelzemon and search for his pieces. We see the DarkKnightmon himself right there, so he decides to grab that. And really it's just a decision on whether or not he wants to evo. He decides to evolve into another Cavalier mode, so now he's got 2 blockers on board. Going to the Beelzemon, and then so here's where I'm a little torn. I remind my opponent that his first Cavalier mode does have reboot, so he from the Toy Agumon, so he reboots it there. So we just swing in with Wizardmon. He decides to go ahead and block. I get the mills from the swing. The EX lets me mill more. I gain 2 memory back there, which puts me back to 3, which gives me some options here. I think I'm still hurting for that level 5 as I'm stuck with the Beelzemon on board. So I'm counting through, seeing what's in there. I'm not sure what my play is here. Oh, I decide to just hard drop the Beelzemon Chaos mode so that I can erase his Digimon and survive one more turn. I think my idea here was try to get the hybrid against him, but as you saw, he had the hybrid in hand and was able to go for game. I revealed that my hand was pretty bricky. I think I had 3 Beelzemons in hand, so it was really hurting for that level 5. Now we go on to game 2, and similar stack. I got the Imp-Mon into a Dobermon. So he also hatches a Agumon, goes into a Toy Agumon. A pretty usual start for black. Toy Agumon's too good. So he plays the Deadly Axemon, and he about to grab another Deadly Axemon, then he realizes it's supposed to be 2 Knightmons, or it has to have Knightmon in the name, so it's kind of a whiff there. So we promote out, and I'm trying to decide, do I want to swing Dobermon to try to get some mills, or should we build up? So we decide, I believe we're gonna build up here, because I have a Beelzemon in hand, so we're going to go ahead and go into the Skull Sadamon to get 2 mills. We don't trash anything with effects, but at least it starts building our trash, and we get to choke our opponent to 1. So he swings in with Deadly Axe, and it's going to die to the effect of Deathslinger. She kills level 4. And then he'll just go into that Skull Knight. He'll go into that Skull Knightmon and Raising. Now, we'll hatch. We'll go into Imp-Mon. And then we decide to go ahead and build into the Beelzemon. We'll mill 2. So blast mode, trash level 4, delete level 4. There's no level 4. We gain a memory from the Skull Sadamon, so we choke him again to 1. But that 1 memory is enough for him to go into the Cavalier mode. And now he's swinging 2 checks with jamming, and the Toy Agumon gives it reboot. This is the perfect start for a DarkKnightmon player. This is what you want. You have blocker, you have reboot, you have jamming. It's too good. Then he hits the Pride memory boost and gets another Skull Knightmon on the field. So he's set up pretty nicely for next turn. But he puts me to 4 memory, which lets me play the Iron Mako down. And now I already have a blast mode in trash, so we can just go ahead and go into our blast mode shenanigans. So we're gonna swing first with the Imp-Mon. And he has to decide if he wants to block it. He doesn't, but he gets another Pride memory boost. Now we swing with Beelze. We use his effect first. We'll gain a memory from that Deathslinger. Then we'll tap Iron Mako, which will let us trash 1. And then for a cost of 3, we'll Digivolve into Blast mode, which will in turn clear his board, because Blast mode clears by the highest the highest level. So since they're all level 4s, it's a nice little board wipe. I think we're checking 2 checks here, if I'm mistaken, or maybe just 1. Maybe we don't have enough in trash yet. Okay, well, we're just trashing 1, which is not bad. We'll probably have it set up next turn to be able to check for 2. So he sets up and then attempts to ultimate flare, thinking it's a board clear, but he misses the fact that blast mode is actually a level 7, not a level 6. So Dobermon gets to stay on the field, and leaving me at 7 memory, which is or actually 8 memory. I have 8 memory here to work with. So we get another Imp-Mon raising, and I have enough memory to build back up. So we do the Rebellion, and then toss another Imp-Mon. So we're setting up our trash a little more, and then we go into Beelzemon again. So we're gonna mill 2, gain 1 from the effect, and then the Imp-Mon gain another, trash another 3, and Beelzemon lets us bring another Imp-Mon from the trash. So now we're setting up wide. So we'll swing. We still have 3 memory, so we'll do the 2 from Beelzemon and then Iron Mako effect for another 3. Now we can go into blast mode and still keep turn. And this time I believe we should be checking 2. If I'm mistaken, we should have well more than 10 now. Now we're checking 3 now. I guess that turn milled a lot, I guess. So we check 3, basically clear his security, and then we just have to choke him here. He can promote out. He does have a couple memory boosts to use. So that we can see the Skull Knight. Sorry, we see the Deadly Axemon there. He uses a boost to go back up to 2. Goes into another Cavalier. Now he's got a blocker. He still has 1 memory. And he decides just to swing with it. It lives because it has jamming, but there's really nothing he can do here. He's can't set up enough blockers. I'm going to have 3 swings next turn. Best he could do was try to drop another rookie and a Cavalier to set up a second blocker, but it'd still only be 2 blockers. I'd have 3 swings, so I would have had game either way. So now we move on to game 3, and he gets the start. Goes to Pagu and Toyagu. It seems to be the #1 start, and then into the DarkKnightmon, which is the perfect start you want in the DarkKnightmon deck. So on my turn, we do our Pagu Imp and get into a Soulmon. Soulmon is one of my favorite cards in this deck. I think the 4 cost to hard drop is so cheap, and his effect is really good with Beelzemon. Gain a memory when you mill. And then I'll just end my turn by playing Iron Mako. Now he can move up. With 4 memory, he drops the Deadly Axemon to try to search for the Dark Knight, I'm assuming. But all he gets is a Cavalier mode, so that's still a good option. And then he swings in with the Skull Knight to do the DarkKnightmon effect to suck in the Deadly Axe, and then Evo into DarkKnightmon, swings in for 2 checks. He survives and then ends turn by dropping the Monitamon, which nets him nothing. Another missed opportunity there. So I have 3 memory. We'll go into the Skull Satamon, mill 2, and then we'll gain 1 off the Soulmon. We'll pull back the Lucemon Chaos mode from the trash off of Skull Satamon's effect, since it is a Demon Lord. And then we'll go into Beelzemon. We'll mill 2. Beelzemon, Skull Satamon effect first to gain a memory. Beelzemon effect to play Impmon, and then Impmon will search. But it's a big whiff there on Impmon. But it's fine, we already have an Iron Mako set up, so we're doing okay. And then I have to remind him here that Beelzemon's effect, when I milled, it should erase a level 3, so that's off the board. But he still has that DarkKnightmon swinging for 2. And then I mill an extra 3, and I hit 2 cards in that mill that both gain a memory, so inadvertently that security check ended up being almost a quasi Hammer Spark. Gain 2 memory off of that, so it's my turn again, Iron Mako. And this is where I make a big misplay. Now I just want to catch up because I haven't really swung into a security, and he has me at 1. So in attempts to gain some aggression back, and again he remembers that his Toyagumon gives him reboot, I decide to do a big play here, but it ends up costing me. So I want to do the blast mode play, but I don't have blast mode in trash. I have it in hand. So instead, what I do is I swing with the Impmon, it dies. I play the older Impmon that lets me trash 1 to grab a 7 Great Demon Lord. So I grab a Beelzemon so that I can set up that blast mode in trash. And now I go in with Beelzemon's effect, swing, mill 2. I'll gain a memory from the Deathslinger and then play another Impmon from that Beelzemon mill. And then Iron Mako, trash 1, it trashes a blast mode, which I go into so that I can swing for multiple checks, but it also pops the DarkKnightmon, and this is my mistake, because now I put 2 bodies on board while I only have 1 security. Now, had I not done that, he didn't have a tamer, so he couldn't hybrid for game, and he didn't have a rookie in raising. Had I just swung in with Beelzemon and not went into the blast mode, you saw that I built enough board presence that I could have won next turn. But instead, I decided to do the blast mode play, which now I left him with 2 Digimon to swing with, and it looks like I don't have any way of removing them from the board. So now I'm in a tough situation. My only option here is hoping that I have enough options in trash to play the Avenged Kidmon, because it's my only option, and I don't. I only have 4, and since he hasn't gone through enough deck, he really has no options in trash, so it's a complete whiff. It was just a last-ditch effort. I need him to hit into a removal in my security, so he swings, check, it's just an Itmon, and then he can go for game. So that was my big mistake that cost me the game. I should not have popped that DarkKnightmon, but that's my mistake. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Till next time.